Hello everybody, welcome back to Made at Midnight, and in this episode we will be showcasing some of the most satisfying, most fun, most swaggable, and most intricate plan strats that you can do in Clash of Clans. We're starting off with a Hero Swag City. To do a Hero Swag City, you have to Giant Arrow Fireball the Town Hall, and you also have to Giant Arrow zap out another portion of defenses. So the Fireball is going to take out the Ricochet Cannon, the Multi-Archer Tower, Monolith, Town Hall, and Clan Castle, and the Zap portion will be taking out the Fire Spitters and the Multi-Inferno Tower just above the Clan Castle. So I'm using Yetis to try to get the Yeti Mites to jump over the walls and take out these Wizard Towers and the Mortars. And the reason why I'm using Yetis, and they're specifically the Yeti Mites instead of Rocket Loons, is that the Yeti Mites do not lure the Clan Castle. We will be taking out the Clan Castle with the Fireball. We do not want to lure and deal with the Clan Castle. So the Yeti Mites managed to take out the Wizard Tower and Mortar on the right side and the Mortar on the left side. So now I only need 2 Invis in front of the Town Hall. Drop the EQs and make sure to drop the EQs on top of Builder Huts to distract the Builder Huts, because if you don't and the Builder Hut starts repairing one of your intended targets, it will repair specifically the Town Hall. If it gets just one shot on the Town Hall will not go down to 3 EQs, 1 Giant Arrow, and a Fireball. So definitely make sure to distract Builder Huts. And that's where the intensive plan portion of this attack comes in. Now, with the front end done, the 9 spells invested, it's basically just an easy, leisurely AQ charge. We're just opening up the walls. We got the AQ powered by the Warden Rage Vial, sprinkling in Ice Golems to stall up the defenses. Let the AQ and Warden work. BK is supposed to meet up with AQ, however he's going for a walk right now, and he's getting distracted by the enemy AQ. BK is supposed to be with AQ, out in front, helping to tank, and also to open up the walls. BK was supposed to be in this wall compartment. He was supposed to open up the walls for this Multi-Archer Tower and Multi-Inferno Tower. And now he's actually pulling the Warden. Warden dies. Our AQ no longer has the Rage Vial to help power her and help heal her. So now it's just trying to figure out where best to place in the remaining Ice Golems and the RC. And the beauty about this strat is it's all about distraction. One hero distracting for another, taking turns, tanking defenses for each other to synergize as much as possible. So we got the minions, super minions from the Clan Castle coming out, and they're actually taking out some air traps. We have Ice Golem in. Ice Golems are really good for distracting enemy heroes. RC ability. RC ability was used a little bit too close to the Ricochet cannons. Ricochet got 1 shot off. Drop the skeleton spell on the backside, trying to distract this Expo. Expo unfortunately still locks onto the RC. Now the RC and the AQ pushing forward together, some Rocket Loons in, cutting this one close. If that Warden wouldn't have died to the BK, probably could have swagged 5 spell space, or at least 4 spell space. That's how powerful it is with the Warden Rage Vial behind the AQ. Alright, so here we have another similar style base. Diamond bases work best. And the Monolith is right next to the Town Hall. So we are going to target the Monolith, Giant Arrow the Monolith, and shoot our Giant Arrow from 12 through the Monolith and take out the Town Hall again. However, this time we will not be doing the zaps portion. So dropping a Yeti just to stall up this mortar, putting the Flame Flinger in behind, Spring Trap, Yeti Mites to the mortar, testing for some more traps. So now I'm going to test for traps with some barbs next to these camps. Some Teslas spring up. I'm going to drop in some Yetis. I'm going to try to get the Yetis to path to the south. I want the Yetis to go from the camps to the Teslas, kill the Teslas with a couple of their hits, die, and then let the Yeti Mites spring forward and take out some of these other Teslas. So now I have just 1 Tesla left between the Dark Elixir storage and the Monolith. I want the Giant Arrow to shoot through, hit the Town Hall, and the Giant Arrow by itself will take out that Tesla, so I don't have to worry about invising that Tesla. Giant Arrow comes through, takes out the Tesla, Warden in behind, invis, Fireball, Monolith goes down, Town Hall goes down, all the defenses around. Now the Multi-Archer Towers are reachable by the AQ, and time for a nice easy AQ walk. Opening up this other compartment, trying to get the BK in here. BKs to help tank for the AQ, and to use the EQ boots to open up more portions of the wall for the AQ. Sending in a Rocket Loon to test for traps, ends up pulling a Super Drag, so I'm going to have to use a poison spell on the Super Drag. If it were just Ice Golems, with very few defenses targeting the AQ, would have been able to get away without using the poison. So BK is working, creating a nice funnel for the AQ to stay inside the base. And also, a great thing about putting the Flame Flinger at the opposing side of where you start the strat is it creates excellent pathing for the AQ to stay inside the base, sprinkling in more Ice Golems, and we will not have to use another spell. That's how strong Ice Golems with the AQ under Warden Rage Vial is. So now sending in RC, we have all the heroes synergizing together, distracting defenses together. RC to ability, another Ice Golem trying to work in, AQs in this nice center channel, all the heroes benefiting under the Warden Rage Vial, and the base is absolutely wrecked. Heavy spell investment to begin with, and then we only had to use one spell afterwards. And notice it was a symmetrical base, and we had the Flame Flinger at 6. We started our attack from 12, so it did not matter which direction our AQ would have went. If she would have went to the right, we would have just done the exact same attack, only at the right. And you can swag 7 spells with this strat all the time. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend giving that strat a try. Also, you can do it just with the Fireball or just with the Giant Arrow. You do not have to always go for the Town Hall. Alright, so this is another fun base, and when you see this base, you should definitely be smiling because you can do a lot of really cool attacks on this base. So I'm going to do another Hero Swag City, and I'm going to shoot the Giant Arrow from 12. We have a nice 2x2 building right at the very top corner, and since we have a 2x2 or it can be a 3x3 building, all you have to do is place your AQ as far up in the corner as you can, and the Giant Arrow will be straight all the way through the base. And the Giant Arrow will also go through the clan castle, and it's going to hit this Invisibility spell tower at the bottom, and I'm putting some zaps down so that when my Giant Arrow comes through, it will kill the Scatter Shot and the Multi-Archer Tower. And now I'm using some Rocket Loons to further clear out some defenses between where the AQ and Warden are going to go and the Town Hall, and I need these defenses cleared because I'm not going to have a lot of time after the Giant Arrow clips. Giant Arrow is going to clip, hit the Invisibility spell tower, and then once the Invisibility spell tower wears off, going to Fireball. So Giant Arrow through, Invisibility spell tower goes down, Scatter Shot, Multi-Archer Tower goes down, and now I have to invis these Builder Huts, and immediately after you invis the Builder Huts, you have to pop the Giant Arrow. However, wait for the Invisibility spell to fully drop. It takes about 1 second for the Invisibility spell to actually drop and make the buildings invisible. And the reason why you have to have a very fast Fireball after using an Invisibility spell on Builder Huts is that the Builder Huts, once they're invisible, they will no longer be repairing themselves from the EQ. They will start repairing the Town Hall, and you will not get the Town Hall down. So yes, this strat involves quite a lot of prep, but it is very fun when it works out. So now we have this isolated Inferno Tower, single target, dropping an Invis to save the AQ, Skeleton Spell to distract this. I have the RC. RC should have been sent in. If I would have had a few more Rocket Loons left, I could have used that. Got the Minion Prince with an Ice Hound to tank for and test for traps for the Minion Prince, sending another Ice Hound in. And also, what's really important about the Minion Prince is the Dark Orb freezes up the defenses for the AQ. So now I realize I must use the RC on the single target Inferno Tower. So go ahead and drop the RC. RC targets the Inferno Tower, takes out the Inferno Tower, works through under Warden Rage Vial again. You gotta love synergy, and speaking of synergy, this Monolith had been EQ'd twice and hit with a Giant Arrow, so now the RC Seeking Shield can one-shot it. Healers transferred over to the RC. RC's tanking for everything, and that's the beauty of this strat. They just take turns, the heroes take turns tanking for each other and pushing forward into the base. With this strat, the version that doesn't require the Giant Arrow or the FB, you can actually 3-star bases without using any spells, and I'll be showing some of those very soon. Alright, so now we have Headshots coming in with some Rocket Loons, and Headshots is one of the best Rocket Loon players I've ever seen. It's really quite crazy because the Warden is just over half the hit points of the AQ, and he is a lot more susceptible to being killed. So you have to watch the Warden, more so than you would have to watch the AQ. So he's direct targeting these expos on the outside for his Flame Flinger. And now look at the Flame Flinger pathing up here to the left. Testing for some traps, pulls a Tesla. Warden at the opposite side. Got the Angry Jelly. This way he can take out as many defenses between the Warden and his intended fireball target as possible. And he's going to wait till the Angry Jelly effect of only targeting defenses wears off before he fireballs. And you always want to do this because if you make the outside defenses invis so that you can target your fireball target, your Warden trying to find defenses because of the Angry Jelly will surge forward into the core of the base, encounter a lot of defenses, and a lot of times die. So he's going to take out this Ricochet Cannon. Ricochet Cannon's dead. Angry Jelly effect wears off. Warden's safe. Pops the Fireball, takes out the Clan Castle, and one of the Fire Spitters. Now he's wrapping around to the north, and he's going to come back around into the base, take out this Fire Spitter, and work towards the Town Hall. Dropping in a Rocket Loon. I believe he's trying to help cut off some of the pathing for this Warden. Yep, to take out this Fire Spitter. Now down here at 330, he's coming in with Archer Queen. He's got Frosty, much like an Ice Golem. And he's going to break into this compartment with both scatter shots and one of the Inferno Towers, multi-Inferno Tower, and uses EQ boots to push his way towards the Town Hall. Baby Drag to help funnel the King in. He had a Baby Dragon on that mortar to help funnel the King in. King's down the compartment. He can open up the walls for the AQ. Uses the EQ boots to do so. Spiky Ball triggers the enemy Rage Tower. Got a Ice Golem in to help tank. Manages to clip this Ricochet Cannon. Ricochet Cannons are an absolute beast on defense. Still has a Warden working, healthy, up above. Rage Tower down, just to help the Warden power through this enemy hero. AQ's locks onto the Town Hall. About to take the Town Hall out. Town Hall goes down. Monolith, really the only defense left that can cause any problems. AQ still has a few healers, one of the clone AQs down here south. Drops a Skelly spell just to help distract, and 4 swag spells. Really fun strat, really all about control, and I believe he likes to do this attack because there's really nothing left to chance. You have a plan for every defense, you know the outcome that is going to happen. The only thing that can possibly go wrong is the fireball hitting the wrong space. Alright, so here we have headshots again. And he's coming in with the exact same strat. Warden over here at 9. Again, Angry Jelly powering through the defenses between him and his fireball target, so he can conserve invisibility spells. Angry Jelly's purpose is to take out as many defenses as possible in the 35 seconds that it lasts, so you only have to use a couple invisibility spells to hit where you want the fireball to go. Got some Skellies popped up. That's okay. And sometimes it can actually be beneficial to encounter some Skellies with your Warden, because it gives you extra time to plan your fireball. That's not the case in this hit. Multi-Inferno goes down. Now he can direct shot this Fire Spitter. Hits the Fire Spitter. Encounters the enemy Royal Champion. Makes the Warden invisible to protect him. Royal Champion goes down, takes out this multi-archer tower, and now he sends in 4 loons, specifically 20 housing space, 18 housing space will work as well with a Yeti, to pull his Warden down here to the south. Now he can put his heroes up above 9 o'clock to target the Ricochet Cannon and work in from the top side, and not have to worry about the Warden coming over and supporting them. Alright, so we got an Ice Golem up to distract, AQ in with the Frosty, freezing up this Ricochet Cannon, cutting off some pathing with some Rocket Loons, Skeleton Spell to help distract the Monolith, and using a Log Launcher with these inline defenses, the Wizard, the Monolith, and the Multi-Archer Tower. So now all these logs can help weaken up everything. Got the Skeleton Spell, freezes up this Minion Prince to prevent the Minion Prince from potentially targeting his Siege Machine. and just take out the monolith. Everything's very weak. AQ can one-shot this multi-inferno tower. Rages up the Warden. Warden's about to target the Town Hall. Got some super minions in to help take out some of these defenses. Town Hall goes down. AQ uses Magic Mirror and the Apprentice. Giant can bust through walls very quick. It's very nice to have the Giant with your queen. AQ takes quite a while to beat through a wall, but a Giant, especially if it gets shot by a defense and goes to rage mode, can two-shot a lot of times these walls. So Giant works through, sends in RC just to help clean up quick. And you can see there that he wasn't able to kill the skeleton traps because he did not have the Electro boots, and that's why he sends his RC that has the Seeking Shield and the Rocket Spear in from the outside. A lot less chance to encounter skeleton traps on the outside edge. So here we have Wicked, and he is doing a straight up super. He's just going after it with drags and rage. Just gonna push right through this base. I never know exactly where to put the rage or the freeze. He's got 4 rage and 5 freeze. So he clumps the dragons up after he created the funnel, and now he's putting 2 rages, 1 on each side of the Town Hall, pushing through as fast as he can. Got a super drag that he has to deal with. He'll be taking that out soon. Also has a Stone Slammer for added hit points into the core to help with these drags. He's got a super drag of his own with some rocket loons that come out of the Stone Slammer. Further rages the drags, and the drags just rip right through the core. So really great base identification by Wicked. I've always wanted to do one of these strats, but I never have. He uses a freeze to freeze up the enemy Minion Prince and the Monolith, the 2 most difficult defenses that were remaining. Takes out the single target Inferno Tower, and now this base is done with. So really awesome base identification, fun attack to watch, very fast attack as well. RC in to help snipe some of these outside defenses. He also has a Seeking Shield and the Rocket Spear, so it wants to send her from the outside. If you were to send your RC across the base, there's a lot of opportunity for her to run into skeleton traps, and since she doesn't have the electric boots, she can become stalled up on the skeleton traps. Awesome hit to Wicked. Here we have Ninja. He's going in with Super Miners, and he's going to be doing a Spirit Walk to create a nice funnel and hopefully a nice narrow channel for his Super Miners to path through. Got the Rocket Spear, so he will be recalling his RC, saving her for later in the raid. And the reason he likes the Rocket Spear is for later in the raid to stall up the RC so the Super Miners can push forward, because unlike Root Riders and unlike any other really troop, Super Miners burrow underground, and when they burrow underground they are no longer protecting the RC, so he wants to use the Rocket Spear to put some distance between his RC and the enemy defenses. Creates excellent pathing for this RC. RC comes up, takes out this Poison Spell Tower, now working at one of these Fire Spitters. Fire Spitters are an absolute pain to work with. They can peel off all your healers. You definitely want to try to take out one Fire Spitter. That way you can come in from behind the remaining Fire Spitter. He's even going to get the Town Hall with this push, which is very impressive. Notice he has a Spirit Fox still alive. So he goes pretty heavy on the Invis. A lot of times you can alter the Invis with the Spirit Fox, but once he starts getting around the Town Hall, he goes heavy with the Invis to keep the Giga Inferno shots from hitting the Spirit Fox and killing the Spirit Fox. Now the RC's in, and he definitely wants that Spirit Fox alive when doing Super Miners, because like I said earlier, the Super Miners, when they're underground, they're no longer tanking for the RC. And when they're no longer tanking, it's nice to have the Spirit Fox make your RC invisible. So he uses the Dark Orb, freezes up a lot of these defenses, Metal Pants, since this is a ground heavy army and there's nothing really to tank and test for air traps for the Minion Prince. Nice narrow channels all the way around the base. Excellent base recognition. Really the only 2 defenses of damage left are this Monolith and the enemy Minion Prince. Although it's only going to take 1 Super Miner to clip and take out this Monolith. A lot of Super Miners left alive, benefiting from this Rage Vial, all getting healed up when they pop up. Always kind of amazes me how many hit points. Notice this one that's on the monolith, full health. Taking out this monolith almost gets it down. Super Miner would have exploded and blown up the monolith anyways, but it's nice to keep as many troops alive as possible. So finishing off this base, ton of Super Miners left, awesome hit, awesome base recognition, and that's what I'm really looking for. I love seeing excellent base recognition. Awesome hit to Ninja. Here we have Gaber, and speaking of base recognition, look at these channels, these long dead zones where the enemy RC and enemy AQ are, and he's going to take full advantage of these dead zones by creating a nice funnel with his RC at the right side, doing a spirit walk, and this will make it so that the Root Riders push straight into the Town Hall and straight in through the entire base, or the entire core of the base. So he takes out that Archer Tower, he's got enough of a funnel created, recalls, Baby Drag, just to clear some of the trash, puts the AQ over here at 9, and much like what he did with RC, he's creating a funnel. Ice Golem out in front, got the Siege Barracks, goes to ability, got the Giant out in front to help tank, drops down the Root Riders, and notice he has cleared all these defenses so that these dead zone channels in between, or on each side of the core, will make it so that the RR's path straight up through the core. And now he can just Eternal Tome and Rage and destroy everything. Just absolutely shreds this base. Enemy Rage Tower goes off. He has a nice freeze over top of the Minion Prince and the Multi-Inferno Tower. Pushes through. Super Minions from the Clan Castle come out, take out the enemy Minion Prince. Dark Orb. He could have swagged the Dark Orb. So excellent base recognition. Really fun when you see these channels that are kind of designed to stop and prevent some of these paths. I really don't know why they make these channels, but you can really take advantage of them. So thanks for watching, and see you again next episode. Bye.